Last week, we went over the hitters on new teams making the best and worst first impressions. Today, let's look at the starting pitchers. Remember, this is only for players on new teams. Most of these guys came from other teams last year, and some of them made their major league debuts this year. To qualify for this list, these guys have to have at least 4 starts as of Saturday, April 27th. Number 10, Luis Severino, New York Mets. From New York to New York, he had an ERA over 6.5 last year with the Yankees, but he's off to a blazing start this year. 5 starts, 2.67 ERA, giving up 3 runs in his first and last starts, but those 3 in the middle were awesome. Just 2 earned runs over 16 innings. Number 9, Dylan Cease, San Diego Padres. This was a huge trade, getting him from the White Sox to replace Blake Snell, and he's been very consistent in his first 5 starts. That 6th start wasn't so great, 5 runs in 6 innings against the Phillies, but he's been giving the team at least 6 innings, keeping the runs at 2 or less, sitting on a 2.78 ERA. Number 8, Corbin Burns, Baltimore Orioles. Speaking of huge trades, this one was seen as the Orioles' big move to win a World Series. The 2021 Cy Young winner in Milwaukee, he's made 6 starts, gotten into the 6th inning in every one, and he's given up no more than 3 runs in any game, having a 2.55 ERA. His best effort was probably his first start, 6 innings of 1 run, 1 hit ball against the Angels, striking out 11. Number 7, Tyler Glasnow, Los Angeles Dodgers. Because of the Seoul series, Glasnow has actually made 7 starts. At times, he has been dominant. The Dodgers got him from Tampa Bay, trying to shore up a beat-up rotation, and so far, he's been the ace they need. He has 1 bad outing, 6 runs in 5 innings against Washington, but right before that, he went 7 scoreless against the Twins and struck out 14, and right after that, 8 shutout innings against the Mets and struck out 10. In his 43 innings, he has a 2.72 ERA. Number 6, Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals. Like the Dodgers, the Cardinals desperately needed rotation help, and they got one of the best from last year. Gray was 2nd place in the Cy Young vote for the Twins in 2023. He started the season hurt, but he's made 4 starts and they've all been good. He gave up nothing in his first 2 starts, spanning 11 innings, and only 3 runs in 12 innings since, sporting a very nice 1.16 ERA. Number 5, Spencer Turnbull, Philadelphia Phillies. Coming off an injury and missing all of 2022, he made 7 starts and had a 7.26 ERA in his last year with the Tigers. He's found a nice home in Philly, making 5 starts, giving up nothing in 3 of them, his best being 7 innings of 1 hit ball against the White Sox, and only had 1 shaky outing against the Pirates, but it's still good for a 1.33 ERA. Number 4, Seth Lugo, Kansas City Royals. He was rock solid last year in San Diego, but the Royals probably didn't expect him to be this good. Over 6 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings and given up nothing in 3 of them. Only 1 substandard start against the Orioles, and his best start was his last one. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts against the Tigers. 38 innings under his belt, 1.66 ERA. Number 3, Jordan Hicks, San Francisco Giants. From St. Louis to Toronto, Hicks has always been a solid bullpen arm, and this year he's getting his chance to start and he's been awesome. 6 starts, 34 innings, 1.59 ERA, and not a bad start in the bunch. He's given them at least 5 innings every time out, giving up 1 run or less in 5 of them, and only 2 runs in the other. Number 2, Shota Eminaga, Chicago Cubs. Here's one of the high-profile Japanese pitchers coming to the majors this year. Not quite as celebrated as Yamamoto, but so far he's been much better. Over his first 3 starts, he had no earned runs, finally giving up 2 against the Marlins and 1 against the Red Sox, keeping his ERA under 1 at .98. His best start was his major league debut, 6 innings of 2 hit ball against the Rockies, striking out 9. Number 1, Rodrigo Lopez, Atlanta Braves. There have been questions about the Braves pitching, so getting this level of production out of Lopez is huge. Last year, he was good out of the pen, but he bounced around 3 different teams. This year, he's one of the best starters in baseball. 4 starts, 25 innings, going at least 6 in every one. 2 of those, he gave up nothing. The other 2, he gave up just 1. Right now, having a .72 ERA. It is only 4 starts, but you couldn't ask for any more. Now, let's run down the 10 worst. Number 10, Ross Stripling, Oakland A's. Coming off a bad season in San Francisco, Stripling crossed the bay and he hasn't had the best time. 6 starts, 0-5 record. Sadly, one of those losses came in a game where he went 7 and gave up 1 against Boston, but he's given up at least 3 runs in 4 of his 6 starts, his worst being 6 runs over 6 innings in Texas. Overall, not terrible, but his ERA is at .498. Number 9, Chris Flexen, Chicago White Sox. Last year, between Seattle and Colorado, his ERA was over 6. Now on the south side, he's made 6 starts. He's only gone 5 innings 2 times, but his last 3 starts haven't been bad. 1 earned run over 11 innings. Those first 3 starts hurt the most, giving up 13 runs over 13 innings, right now sitting at a 5.11 ERA. Number 8, Cal Quantro, Colorado Rockies. Coming off a bad season in Cleveland, his ERA with the Rockies is almost identical from last year, 5.34. He does have 3 quality starts over his first 6, but he gave up 5 over 5 in his debut, 4 over 4 in his next, and his last start against the Astros wasn't good, 6 runs over 5. Number 7, Joe Ross, Milwaukee Brewers. The last time we saw him was in Washington 3 years ago. He resurfaced in Milwaukee and it's been a bit rough. He does have 2 good starts, one that didn't even go 4, and 2 others that are blowing up his ERA, giving up 6 runs against the Padres and then 6 more against the Yankees, pinning him with a 5.40 ERA. Number 6, Kenta Maeda, Detroit Tigers. Last year, he was about league average in Minnesota, and one of his 2 good starts this year was against Minnesota. He was also very good against the Rays, but in that first start against the White Sox, he gave up 6 and didn't get out of the 4th. Then gave up 5 and 2 2/3 against Texas. That ERA coming dangerously close to 6. Number 5, Dakota Hudson, Colorado Rockies. Coming off 2 bad years in St. Louis, Hudson entered the pitcher's black hole of Coors Field. He got into the 6th without giving up an earned run in his debut, that being at Wrigley. But since then, he's been knocked around. He had a quality start in his home debut against Tampa, but then he gave up 5 over 6, 4 over 4, and his worst start was his last one. 6 over 3 1/3 against the Padres, now stuck with a 6.57 ERA. Number 4, Alex Wood, Oakland A's. Like Stripling, he went from the Giants to the A's, and right off the bat, the Guardians hung 6 on him in 3 1/3. He hasn't gone more than 5 innings until his most recent start where he was very good against the Yankees, but that only brought his ERA down from 7.89 to 6.59. Number 3, Mike Soroka, Chicago White Sox. Once promising, but recently just an injury mess. The Braves traded him to the Sox, and the Sox haven't gotten much out of him. 6 starts, only one of them being quality, giving up at least 4 earned runs in 4 of those 6, that including back-to-back starts, giving up 5 over 4 2/3. His ERA just fell back under 7, right now at 6.83. Number 2, D.L. Hall, Milwaukee Brewers. Coming back to Milwaukee from the Corbin Burns trade, Hall had very limited major league experience in Baltimore. He only has 4 starts and he hasn't been going very deep. Only once has he even seen the 5th inning. His first 2 starts were average, but his last 2 have been a mess. He got pulled in the 4th in both of them, giving up 5 runs against his old team, then 4 more against the Cardinals, now with a 7.71 ERA. Number 1, Adrian Hauser, New York Mets. He had been a mainstay with Milwaukee since 2019, coming to the Mets this year, and he started out good. 1 run over 5 against the Tigers, but then he gave up 5 over 5 in Atlanta, and the Dodgers and Cardinals really beat him up. 8 runs in 4 innings in Los Angeles, and his most recent start giving up 6 and 4 1/3 at home against the Redbirds. He is the starting pitcher making the worst first impression, sporting an 8.37 ERA. As for relief pitchers, it's hard to judge this soon, especially on the bad side. For example, the guy with the worst ERA on a new team is Jose Cisnero on the Angels. But that's because in 3 of his 14 games, he's given up a 3 spot, so that's why he has a 7.07 ERA. That being said, here's 5 guys on new teams that have at least 12 innings pitched and an ERA under 1. Andrew Kittredge, St. Louis Cardinals, 1 run in 12 innings, 0.75 ERA. Dylan Floro, Washington Nationals, same thing, 1 run in 12 innings and a 0.75 ERA. John Schreiber, Kansas City Royals, 1 run over 13 innings, 0.69 ERA. Brian Hudson, Milwaukee Brewers, 1 run over 14 1/3, 0.63 ERA. And finally, the best of the best, Justin Slayton, Boston Red Sox, 1 run over 16 1/3, 0.55 ERA. This guy having made his major league debut this year. That's all I got for now. Let me know if you have any thoughts, if you think someone else should have been on here. And keep in mind, I cut off the stats after Saturday, April 27th, and this was mainly driven by ERA, also giving weight to the guys who have more starts or pitch more innings. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and want to see more like this, please give me a sub. Also, if you want to see the 10 best and 10 worst first impressions for hitters, click the card above or in my end screen. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.